Last week, I did make a presentation to members of the U.S. Congress and senior staff in many of their offices. We were very encouraged by the turnout, and specifically, we wanted to speak about the situation in Syria. Of course, we're all concerned about the negotiations that are taking place this week in Geneva, but we wanted to call special attention to particularly the Christian minorities in Syria, that they're under great threat, and that we were calling for protection for those Christian minorities. Many pastors, many leaders have been threatened with their lives, and we're very concerned about that. And the truth is they've watched what's happened in Iraq, where Iraq went from 1.3 million Christians now to less than 150,000. The other concerns that we expressed were regarding the surrounding countries that are hosting hundreds of thousands of refugees. And we're calling upon our community around the world, the relief and development community, to respond. We're calling on government agencies to respond. It would be a great tragedy if the countries like Jordan and Lebanon would destabilize because of the refugee influx that they've seen. And so we need to be very supportive of those surrounding countries as they seek to help the refugees. Well, I think there are two different expectations coming out of it, and the reality is this is just a part of a process. They're not going to get everything accomplished in these 2 days, and so I think we need to measure the expectations. I think a minimum for what we're looking for is that there would be a cessation of the armed conflict, that people would stop dying, so that they could come to agreement that they will stop the killings. And so I think that's the minimum. But I think the process has to develop what the future Syria looks like. And there's many parties involved, including some of the surrounding countries. But again, we're urging, the Christian community has been 10% of the Syrian population. They've been present there for 2,000 years. We believe that they need a place at the table, in the negotiations table, to make sure that they are a protected minority and they actually stay in Syria, no matter what shape the future country takes. Again, no matter what form of government takes place in Syria in the future, we're going to be calling for the protection of minorities, not just Christian minorities, but all minorities, and trying to make the case it's in the best favor of the country that they actually do protect the minorities. As we know, that the opposition party is fractured. There are radicals within it. We would call upon the moderates in the opposition to make a place for Christians in the new Syria, whatever is created. I think sometimes people interpret the fact that opposition against those who are seeking to overthrow the Assad regime is support for the Assad regime. And it's not a other side of the same coin. Both are very difficult situations. It could be bad, and it's also worse. And so it's a very troubling situation. I think for Christians, the top of our priority is that we should be praying that peace will come, and praying for our sisters and brothers who are in the land, who are facing these very difficult circumstances. And so I think we need to, as we think about these meetings in Geneva this week, let's pray for those leaders that are meeting there, and that they will find a way through the many challenging issues as they continue this process.